Hi Mary, it's Jo Stevens. I'm here today to run through just a few little exercises for you that I hope will be helpful. So, the very first thing I wanted to have a look at was sitting posture. So we want to try and sit up as straight as possible. Now, in order to do that, there's two things that we really need to think about. So the first thing is normal sitting position. If I'm sitting in this chair normally, I don't know whether you can see, but my hips are lower than my knees. And as a result, because my hips are lower than my knees, my tendency is to roll and slouch a little bit, like my shoulders come forward and I've curled through the spine. So what I need to do is roll forward onto the front of my sit bones and extend up from the pelvis, like that. Now, in order to do that in a more easy fashion, I've left my block over here, I'm just going to give myself a little bit more height on this chair. So I give myself a little bit more height on the chair, and you can see now my hips are higher than my knees. And what that does is it helps me do that rolling onto the front of my sit bones, and it makes it much, much more comfortable and easy for me to sit upright. Now, if you haven't been sitting upright for a while, it takes a bit of time to get into it again, and there's some muscles that need to be activated in the belly and things like that. But it's worth it because ultimately it's more comfortable for you and you can sustain it for longer. Okay. So from sitting, the first thing we're going to do is just practice this pelvic roll. So tuck your tailbone under and roll back onto the back of the sit bones, curling the spine. And then see what it feels like to roll forward and extend up. So you're tucking the tailbone under, rolling back, and then rolling forward and coming back up. Let's do that once more. Tucking the tailbone under, curling through the spine, rolling onto the front of the sit bones and extending up. Okay. My other top tip, I'll turn the chair around. And instead of using a block, I'm going to use cushions because that'll be more comfortable. Okay. So my other top tip is imagination is amazing. Your brain is amazing. So I like to imagine stuff. It really helps me with my posture. So I imagine a nice friendly giant with a long goatee beard. Maybe give the beard a colour. My giant's got a bow in his beard. And then he's got a big plunger, which is also multicoloured. And he sticks it right onto the top of my head. And then he sucks me up from that very central point in the top of my head. There's a sucking me up. And what that enables me to do is picture the space in my spine. So the space in between each of the vertebrae in my spine. So it gives me a bit of length. And then if I let my shoulders be heavy, so drawing the shoulders down away from the ears, let the shoulders be heavy and the arms be heavy. Draw the chin in just a little bit so you get a sense of a long back of the neck. So this is going to be our starting position every morning, and it's important to start with a nice straight spine because then we're going to do some movements, and if your spine is straight and you're sitting as upright as you can be, you'll get the benefit of the movements. Okay, we're going to take 3 deep breaths. So 3 deep inhales and 3 long exhales. So through the nose if possible. Inhale and notice the flaring of the nostrils, expansion of the airways in your throat. You might notice the chest broadening, opening up, the rib cage maybe pushing sideways, maybe forward and back, and then the belly. So releasing the tummy and seeing if you can draw the breath down into the belly. So your inhale, expanding, and then this lovely, slow, steady exhale. And again, inhale, feel the lungs, rib cage, belly. Long, steady exhale. Feel the softening through your body as you exhale. Once more, inhale. And you're almost sighing out, almost sigh out that exhale. Returning to the normal rhythm of your breath. Extend up through the crown of the head. So think about the giant if that's helpful. And we'll start by turning to look over the right shoulder. Keep the shoulders heavy, the movements in the neck. Come back to center and over to the left. Back to center, over the right shoulder. Center, left. If you want to, you could add an awareness of the breath to this. And then you would inhale, come back to center. Exhale, look over the right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, look over the left. If that works. You don't have to worry about the breath, you can just move. But if the breath is nice, then do it. Okay, and then we're going to drop the right ear down to the shoulder. So right ear down towards the right shoulder, and you'll feel a stretch through the left side of your neck. Come back to center when you're ready. Maybe get a length from the crown of the head, little from the giant, dropping the left ear down towards the shoulder. Feel the stretch in the right side. If you want to go with the breath, you're inhaling, coming up, exhaling, dropping down. Try and keep the shoulders out of it. So you'll find your shoulders tend to want to come along for the party. And it takes a bit of, you kind of need to tell them to stay out of it. So your inhale coming up and lengthening through the spine. Exhale, dropping down. Finishing on the left side, so ear down to the left. Back to center. Let's shrug our shoulders now. So, sucking the shoulders up round the ears as much as you can. And then drawing them down as far as you can draw them down. Maybe lengthening through the arms if you haven't got stuff in the way. You could lengthen through your arms, through your fingertips. Draw the elbow, draw the shoulders up. And then back down. Draw them up and down. Okay, lovely. So if you want to go with the breath, we're going to take the arms up. If you want to go with the breath, You inhale, bring the arms up, turning the palms so they face up when you get to your shoulders. And then taking the arms all the way up. Stretch up like you mean it. Feel the stretch in the right side and the left side. Maybe stretch up a little bit more with the right hand and the right fingers. And then go left hand, left fingers. Stretch up, stretch up. Okay, even it off. And float the arms back down. Let's go again. Inhaling up. Float them back down as you exhale. Inhale up. And float them down. Okay, coming back up. Interlace your fingers above your head and then turn the palms so they face the ceiling and push the ceiling away. Stretching up, stretching up. Maybe see what it feels like to lean over to the right. Stretching the left side of the body. Coming back up to center. Pop the hands down on the top of your head. See what that feels like. Let the shoulders fall away from the ears. And then push the ceiling away again. And shamoo on over to the left. Stretching the right side of your body. Come back to center. Hands to head. Relax the shoulders. Arms are heavy. Everything's really heavy. Push the ceiling away again. Over to the right. Back to center. Drop the hands, arms, shoulders heavy. Feel the weight of the shoulders. And then push the ceiling away. And shamoo yourself over to the left. Okay, back to center. And then let's take the hands, keep them interlaced, but take them to the back of your head. See what it feels like to draw the elbows out. Can you feel that in your shoulder blades, in your upper back? So can you draw the elbows wide, open the chest, and feel the shoulder blades squeezing together behind you? Bring the elbows in now, so you're kind of encasing your head with your arms. And then draw them back out. So elbows in. And then open up. Open the elbows up. Extend up through the crown of the head. And then we're going to twist round to the right. So send your right elbow round. Think about your rib cage, your right rib cage. Turning to the right. Come back to center and go to the left. If you want to use your breath, you inhale center, exhale turn. Inhale center, exhale turn. Back to center. Just let the arms come down. They've done quite a bit of work, haven't they? Maybe extend, see what that feels like. Extend down through the right arm, stretching the fingers out, the fingertips, and then go left arm. Stretch the arm out, the fingertips. Try and get as much length as you can. And then place your left hand on your right thigh. Your right hand might hold, if you've got arms on your chair, you might like to hold the arm of your chair, or I'm just holding the seat of my chair, or you could hold the back of your chair even. We're going to twist again, so twisting round to the right. Try and draw the shoulders down away from your ears, And think about your chest and your right rib cage drawing round to the right. Breathing there. So going as far as is comfortable. And then let's take 3 nice deep breaths through the nose if possible. Seeing if you can draw the breath down into the belly. Soften with your exhale. Coming back to center. Right hand, left thigh, left hand wherever you decide. So maybe the seat of your chair, maybe the back of your chair. And then left rib cage this time. Thinking about opening the chest. Breathing into the rib cage, into the chest. Maybe all the way down into the belly. Come back to center. Right, we're going to do that again, but a little bit quicker this time. So left hand, right thigh. Right hand, wherever you choose to hold. Exhale, turn to the right. Inhale, coming back to center. Right hand, left thigh, left hand. Holding onto your chair. Exhale, round to the left. Back to center. And once more. So turning to the right. Back to center. Turning to the left. And back to center. Groovy. Okay, left arm. Just send that left arm straight up. Ooh. Get as much stretch down the left side of your body as you can. Stretch your fingertips up to the sky. And then we're just going to lean over to the right. Come back to center. Let that arm come down and we'll send the right arm up. Ooh, stretch up, stretch, stretch. Over to the left. Let's make this, I like this because this can be really swayy. So you can then send your arms like a cartwheel all the way around. And you lean to the right. Lean to the left. I call this side stretch sway. And it's one of my favourite little moves. Okay. Coming back to centre when you've been on the left side. And we're now going to kind of roll through the spine. Now, I think it's probably, you'll see it better if I turn the chair round. Okay, so start with a nice straight back. And then we're just going to tuck the tailbone under. So you tuck your tailbone under and let yourself curl down through the lumbar all the way down the spine, dropping the head. And then you roll onto the front. So you do that pelvic thing that we did right at the beginning. So you roll onto the front of your sit bones. And then there's an opening. So there's the belly's open, chest's open, drawing the shoulders back. And maybe lift the head up a little bit so the chin could come up a little bit. Don't compress the neck. You want to keep some length in the back of the neck. But it's nice to look up. And then go again. So you tuck the tailbone under and curl down, 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 down. Drop the head. Roll onto the front of the sit bone, so that little pelvic tilt, and you open the front of the body. Tuck the tailbone under, curl. See if you can visualize each vertebrae in your spine moving as you do this. Cog by cog, almost like a chain, like a bicycle chain, and you're just going cog by cog, by cog, all the way down. And cog by cog, by cog all the way up. This is one of my absolute go-to back things. Like if my back is hurting, I would do this, and I would do it throughout the day. So this is something that you could do a few times a day to just ease out the spine. And I'm sure it would make you feel more comfortable. Okay. Coming back to a nice straight spine when you've finished. Right. So those are my kind of go-to back things. I thought I'd also just show you a few little hand exercises, because they can be really nice and it's good to keep mobility in your wrists and your hands. So if you'd like to take your hands to prayer at your heart space. Draw the shoulders down away from your ears. Extend up through the crown of your head. And then you open your hands like a book and keep going. So you open your hands like a book, roll onto your little fingers and roll all the way around. Then your backs of your hands come together, your fingers come in towards your chest, and you keep going round. So you keep going round, and hopefully find yourself back at prayer at your heart space. So you open like a book and keep rolling round. You roll round the little fingers onto the backs of the hands. The fingers come in towards the chest. Keep going round, keep going round. Keep the momentum, keep it going. And back to prayer. And again, book. Keep turning, keep turning, keep turning, keep turning. Ta-da! Back to prayer. Take your hands to cactus. Well, arms to cactus. And stretch out through the fingers as much as you can. So lengthening, lengthening, lengthening through the fingers. We're going to flash and scrunch, which I'm also going to get you to do with your feet. It's brilliant. So make fists. Scrunch them up as much as you can. And then flash them. Scrunch. Flash. Scrunch. Flash. Beautiful. I do like a bit of flashing and scrunching. Okay. Come to your fists, come to your scrunch, and let's do circles with your wrists. One way, and then you can change direction and go the other way. Lovely. Okay, let the arms come down. Let's do some shoulder circles. Just making circles with the shoulders. Bringing them forward a little bit and then drawing them back. Again, feeling those shoulder blades behind you, squeezing together. Oh, and just one more I wanted to do with the shoulder blades, actually. So I'm going to turn back round sideways so you can see. And bring my arms out. Bring your arms out in front of you. Turn the palms so they face each other. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. And then keeping the arms as straight and strong as you can, drawing them back. So you're squeezing your shoulder blades together and drawing those arms back as much as you can. And then release. Draw them back, squeeze. You're trying to feel the muscles in between the shoulder blades, in the center of your upper back. Release. Squeeze. And release. Once more. Squeeze and release. Bring the arms back down, hands to the lap. Okay. So, I'm going to come up close to show you this hand one. I've got myself a block. You just need a flat a kind of flat surface. And I'm going to put my hand on my flat surface. The very first thing is to connect with your hand. So feel the skin on the palm of your hand and what that feels like. What does that feel like on the surface that you've chosen? So is the surface cool? Is it shiny? This is actually quite warm and it's got a nice texture to it. So it's nice to just tap into the texture. And then tapping is exactly what we're going to do. Keeping all the rest of the hand down, lift up the thumb. Give it a little tappity too. Maybe do 3 or 4 taps. Pop the thumb back down and go index finger. Middle finger. They get harder. Or certainly I find the middle finger and then the ring finger, look, it barely moves at all. And I practice this. And everything else wants to move. So when I move my ring finger, my little finger wants to go as well. I particularly want you to practice this with your little finger and your ring finger, because there's a connection here all the way up the external line of your arm. So little finger and ring finger, very important. And essentially what we use these days is we use these 3 babies and we don't use these guys. And these guys want to be used. Left hand, pop it down. Feel the skin. What does the skin feel like on the surface? Lengthening, nice straight back. And we'll tap the thumb. Index finger, middle finger, ring finger. Oh, it's very hard. And of course, it's left hand, so I'm right-handed. And then little finger. There we go. I have more. So once you're bored of these, I can do you another little video. And yeah, enjoy. Let me know how you get on and yeah, good luck out there. Lots of love. Bye.